is that the data from the speed sensors present on the front and rear wheel is transmitted to the ECU, which in turn releases the amount of brake force to be applied on the front wheel such that the front wheel doesn't lock up. Also, I wonder whether we actually get the RLP feature here, which stands for rear wheel lift-off protection, because each time I was going a bit hard on the front brake, I almost ended up doing a stoppie because the rear wheel was lifting off of the ground. But I have to say the 300mm front disc offers great initial bite, and this along with the 230mm rear disc and the inclusion of ABS, I feel have made the braking performance on the RC200 a lot more confidence inspiring when compared to prior. Now the inclusion of ABS comes at an increment of approximately 10,000 rupees. So this new RC200 ABS is priced at rupees 1.88 lakhs ex-showroom here in Hyderabad. Now what makes the RC truly stand apart is the insane power to weight ratio, because the bike weighs a mere 137.5 kgs dry and it simply goes berserk when unleashed on the track. Now you take all of this and match it with meticulously crafted aerodynamics and perfectly sorted out super sport ergonomics. What you have then is a bike that is born, baptized and brought up on the track circuit to simply decimate the competition. Now apart from the single channel ABS update, the bike as such remains absolutely unchanged. Honestly, I don't think anything needs to change on this near perfect bike. It still carries the same changes and upgrades it got last year with the BS4 update. We get a better quality rider seat with a textured pattern finish, which prevents the rider from sliding forward when braking hard. The pillion seat thickness is also increased to offer more comfort. The suspension is well tuned in that it isn't too hard. In fact, the rear monoshock is on the softer side to offer a more comfortable ride through the city. The same suspension setup also supports the chassis really well even when doing speeds of around 130 km per hour. The chassis of the RC200 comprises of the same lightweight steel trellis frame used for the Duke 200, but here it comes with reworked geometry to complement the supersport character of the RC. Perfectly aiding this is the die-cast aluminium swing arm that not only looks sexy but also enhances the overall handling characteristics of the bike. Talking about the suspension, we get chunky 43mm upside down forks that offer a superb front end feel, and at the back we have the rear monoshock with a slightly softer setting now. And then we have the underbelly exhaust that perfectly aids in mass centralization concept, thereby lending the bike unmatched handling characteristics. The digital cockpit remains unchanged. It is quite stunning as it is, offering loads of information like instant fuel economy, average speed, gear position indicator and a whole lot more. Now talking about the power plant, powering the RC200 is the same single cylinder 4-stroke 199.5cc engine with dual overhead camshafts, and this puts out a max power of 26 PS at 10,000 RPM and a max torque of 19.2 Newton meters at 8,000 RPM. We get a 6-speed gearbox. Now taking the bike out for a spin, the bike offers decent power right off the mark. It isn't as aggressive as the first gen BS3 model. What's interesting though is that the vibrations are not at all present thanks to the balancer shaft. The bike accelerates smoothly and cleanly all through the rev band. It's only post 135 km per hour is when the bike starts feeling a little uncertain. On the track and while cutting through the corners, the bike is perfection personified. The bike slices through the corners like a hot knife through butter. It holds the line with utmost precision, a hallmark trait of all KTM bikes. The clutch feel is light and effortless, the gearbox works smoothly, and the throttle response is nice and light and easy, and